Today on Suncoast View, driving downtown is about to get interesting with orange barrels all over US 41. Get ready for roundabout construction. We'll discuss.
And more kids than ever are headed to college, but what does that mean for their future employment? Suncoast students find out with an important State of the Job conference.
And as the snowbirds come down, is it really a good time to have a for sale sign spring up in your yard? We'll learn the tricks of the trade to sell your home in Suncoast for Sale. All that and more right now on Suncoast View.
Welcome to the show, and welcome to our birthday girl, Marsha.
Thank you.
Fellow Libra,
Yes,
celebrating on our show, which I love.
I'm 8.5 dog years old.
Oh, well, hold on, that's a lot of math.
Okay, so
Don't.
Yeah, we're all still trying to figure it out. We can do it quickly.
I need a paper and pencil to figure that
Oh,
out.
please don't. Please
Except
don't.
that a dog year is 7, and half of that is 3.5, and that's an odd number. So
Yes, it is,
Now
isn't
I'm
it?
really taken aback.
So 24?
And
Go
holding.
with that.
And
Holding that.
Yeah.
Well,
I
looking
didn't feel
fabulous.
good in math in school.
That's all right.
I'm so glad you flunked.
We have a lot of fun planned for today. We're glad Marcia is with us.
Thank
and
you.
We are actually celebrating with tacos. Hope it's your favorite food.
It is.
Because that's what Chef Judy has for us in the kitchen. The best tacos on the Suncoast. How fun.
And you know, whenever there's a big taco celebration, I mean, this table could be 10 times longer and we couldn't get them all on. There are all those great traditional places. We have Fuzzy's Tacos, we have El Toro Bravo, we have Polpo's. You know, we invite so many on. Sometimes you just don't hear from them and sometimes they're busy, but there's lots of different types, more traditional. Our friends at La Primavera down the street, but we're going to get into some gourmet tacos too. What to look for, and even though it's Wednesday, not Tuesday, I say Taco Wednesday for a national day is just as important.
Absolutely. We will celebrate that any day of the week, and we look forward to some of the more unique options as well. Be fun to try. It is time for our first hot topic, and you think we have traffic troubles on the trail now. Wait till the roundabout construction begins in just a few weeks. We are now hearing that crews will begin work on one of 3 new roundabouts on US 41 in mid-November. The first spot will be at 41 and 10th Street, and then the roundabouts will follow at Fruitville and 14th. But all of this construction is supposed to take, wait for it, 2.5 years. During that time, there will be 2 lanes going in each direction, but expect different traffic patterns and intermittent lane closures. Remember, US 41 is only one of 2 downtown arteries.
Yes.
Fabulous.
Why November? This is the time the tourists start arriving.
Why 2.5 years? I could dig it by hand in that time. I mean, seriously.
I mean, it doesn't even matter. It doesn't matter if it's November, because if it's going to take 2.5 years, you're going to have it
several
forever.
Novembers.
Yeah.
I don't think it's the solution. And I don't want to get political, but I don't think it's the solution. Did you watch people going around these roundabouts here on Main Street? You know, they hit everything because they just don't know how to drive in a roundabout. Now you're putting it on 41, which is one of the busiest streets.
Probably the busiest.
Yeah,
yes.
you know, so I think we should all kind of pool our funds and get a helicopter, and we'll go. We'll
I like
have
that.
Uber
Sounds like a
helicopters.
Uber helicopter.
Yeah, Uber helicopter.
I like that.
The only thing that I will say positive about this, in terms of both during construction and the end result, is that it is going to slow people down. And because I think we all do want to be.
That's a good thing.
Well, it's a good thing because we're trying to be a pedestrian-friendly downtown. And there's all those condos going up there now, 2 new right there at Gulfstream. And we've got to be more cognizant of our pedestrians.
I don't think that it's slowing people down. The traffic is slowing people down because you can't move.
Well,
so
that'll do it.
so there's not like it's already in high speeds. I think this is only going to the traffic, especially once you start passing the Van Wezel coming out, that traffic starts picking up as soon as you get to
Absolutely, it backs up.
you know, to the statue, and this is just going to make it worse.
And those of us who come over the bridge, We're
Yeah.
already backed up.
Right.
So
Yeah.
now we're going to have to try to figure out how to get on to 41. I think it's going to be an absolute mess.
Yeah.
It is going to be a mess, and as we know, when one road is under construction and packed and taking away left turns and making lane changes and all that, it means those other roads, such as Fruitville and 301, as people try to get away from 41, are going to be impacted.
And have you guys seen the barricade they now put in the middle of the road so you can't go all the way across?
We talked about that.
I just encountered that. I was like, wait, I'm now stuck in the middle of the road. What should I do? And I didn't know it wasn't there.
But I've noticed that there are a lot of roundabouts in other cities and in foreign countries. So it seems like the trend now.
But they use more geographic area. When you go to Europe, in Germany, and France, and Italy, those are large areas. We're trying to make a roundabout in a postage stamp area. It's really not the best way to go.
I think that's part of the problem because you have some lanes merging into the roundabout, some lanes going straight, and people don't know which one is which.
Right.
So that's when it gets a little bit hectic. But I don't know, like, the thing is that we don't even really at this point have a say. It's already been approved. The money has been allocated.
They're going.
They're
These are
going.
coming.
They're digging in a month.
So, you
So
know.
I made a sign that says, "Look out for me," and I'm going to stick it out the window, and off I go.
People will be looking at your sign.
All right, well, like it or
I'm
not.
waiting for your helicopter.
We're going to need to be careful. So more development news. Amazon has sparked a bidding war, not on its products, but over Amazon itself. The e-commerce giant is soliciting bids from cities all across North America for a place to build its second headquarters. So many think the company is most interested in the Southeast geographically. So a city a half-hour south of Atlanta by the name of Stonecrest says it would rename itself Amazon, Georgia. It is no wonder everyone wants Amazon. It is a $5 billion investment project with 50,000 jobs. And for the record, Tampa and St. Pete are throwing their hats in the ring jointly and talking about a property such as Tropicana Field, since apparently it may not be a baseball stadium for all that much longer, as an Amazon headquarters.
It probably isn't big enough, but I like the idea. It brings a lot of jobs to us. I mean, most people would drive that far.
Yeah,
Should we rename a city for that, though? I mean, that
You
seems
know
a little
what?
above and
I
beyond.
spent my life in Georgia. I never heard of that city.
Stonecrest.
I was gonna say
no one's
that.
going to miss it.
I mean, if it's Tampa, no, don't rename. But if you're Stonecrest,
Yeah,
I
right,
mean,
yeah.
how popular are you already?
When I lived in Georgia, there was no Stonecrest. So this is a new city. So.
Well, isn't it Amazon that has the drones?
Absolutely.
And so if you're in Tampa and you're in St. Pete, you're going to see a lot of drones going up
okay with
for
that.
the delivery.
I'm
So-
okay with that as long as I get my items in
Yeah,
today.
they can just get them to us faster.
That's right.
All right, well, no fair complaining about traffic if 50,000 jobs show up. I'm just warning you right now because that'll be the next thing everyone's worried about. So public stores are facing a federal lawsuit over hair. The Equal Opportunity Employment Commission says that Publix can't ask a man to cut his dreadlocks above his shoulders in order to work there. The Nashville employee wannabe says that his hair is part of his religion. He did offer to wear it in a hat. The man was told he would still have to cut it, and he is now suing Publix. Publix was previously under fire for not allowing men to grow beards last year. What do you think about this?
Why is it only Publix? I feel like this should be.
Well, he was applying for a job at Publix. Publix told him no.
I have a
so
feeling
now
that
he's
wasn't
suing
the
them.
reason he didn't get the job. Sometimes you have to comply with the rules. You can wear your hair any way you want it. That is your right. It's not your right to work at Publix. A company has a right to choose its employees. And I think, okay, if it were me, I'd pin those dreads up and put a little hat on, or not, just pin it up so it look good and go.
But the company doesn't have the right to discriminate based on religion, and that is the claim that's being made.
I
They're not-
disagree.
they don't even know what his religion is.
And that's part of the problem is the fact that we're not. Everyone feels that everyone is the same as them, and if you wear your hair in a style, it's just a style. And dreads aren't something you can pin up. People have dreads where they've grown to the point where they're like below your butt, and you're not allowed to cut them. One of the cultures or religion in Jamaica is Rastafarian.
That's what it is.
And you cannot.
That's what it is.
You cannot. You know, once you start growing it, you cannot cut it. So it's gets to a point where it's pretty long, and you just have to wait for it to fall out on its own. And that is not something that you can do. I feel
But
like
he could pin it up, could he not?
he could find a way to wrap it up or
That's what I
cover
thought.
it. But I don't know if it's you can say you can't have your hair like this, but my whole problem with the whole situation is not just Publix. The U.S. Army won't allow you to have braids and won't allow you to have
because everybody
dreads.
has to look exactly
But
alike.
what I'm saying is, how can we say Publix is wrong, but we have all these other companies that are allowed to discriminate about the same
it's
thing?
a two-way street. He went to let's pick on Publix because that's where he went. But he wants the job. Why? He wants the insurance. He wants the fringe benefits. He wants the good pay that Publix will give. All right? So you have to comply. You have to comply. It's a two-way street.
I'm not disputing that. You know, if you don't meet the requirements for the position, then you go somewhere else. But I'm thinking, how can we just target one company when there's so many other companies are doing the same exact thing?
And my point is, I certainly agree with your right not to cut your hair, but you can pin it up. So,
but you don't have a right to work anywhere.
And they said it would be okay if it was in a hat or if it was in a net or if it was pinned up.
Don't most of the women have their hair in a hairnet?
Yeah,
I mean,
typically.
But the idea is just disgusting. You don't want hair all over your food.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
And we don't know if he was serving food or trying to be a cashier. So, I mean, there's a lot that hasn't come out yet. But just the concept is interesting, and it is now going to the next level.
And you know what? I see problems in the future. If he won't comply with that, he wouldn't comply with a lot of things. So I can see Public's point. But he could have done this.
I don't know about that part. I think we're taking it a little.
All right, we're moving on.
Okay.
Here's another one that you're not going to like. Florida is now the 35th state in the United States where people have the option to register to vote or update their registration online. The system went live Sunday. So after the 2000 presidential debacle in Florida, online registration was deemed too risky. But 2 years ago, the legislature decided that we had things enough under control here, and now supporters have been lobbying for online registration for years, saying it saves money and improves accuracy. Others extremely concerned, especially about hackers affecting the system. In the light of a bad week with Equifax and Yahoo, what do we think? Do we want our voter records online as they are?
Last month, the Homeland Security came out and said that Florida's systems were among those that were trying to be hacked. They successfully said that the registration system was not. They found it out prior to them getting whatever in the system. But the point is, we know that they're attacking the systems already without registration being online. So why would we create more things for them to have?
Yes.
I think it's silly.
We've got to get security under control before we can move that way. I love the idea of being able to vote online, but I don't
Just
want to...
register.
No, don't register.
Just register. We're not actually talking about voting.
Yeah.
But your social security numbers, your addresses, your birth dates, all those things that identify you to your driver's license and your voter registration are online.
I want to go offline. I don't like the online thing. Everybody's just hacking them. I just want to go back to like the early 90s. When nothing was
When we had hanging chads, because that worked well.
That wasn't our fault.
that wasn't registration.
I understand, but I'm just saying there's always something.
Yes, there's always something.
I don't know what
I think there's a
is.
convenience to it, because we stand in line to do this, sometimes for an hour or more. So this saves a little bit of time. But you know what? Stop and look at the information they're looking at. If you know how to maneuver the internet, you can find out all of it and connect the dots.
And right
how
now,
private are we?
Yeah, and right now voter information is already out there. You can Google a person and get everything. Address and maybe not social, but last four.
I think that's a good point about how private really are we at this point, because the answer is not very, and we're upset about the Equifax and the Yahoo and all those things.
They already have your information.
Yeah, well, when I got my driver's license, I had to get my marriage license to my first husband, and then I had to get my divorce papers from my first husband. That'd been 50 years ago. He was dead. It was just very hard to do.
That's a lot of paperwork.
But they know all of that.
Right.
They know all of that information.
For better or for worse, that's for sure. So does your dog really love you, or does he just love the fact that you're his person that meets his needs, like dishing out the food? So a neuroscientist wondered this. He actually hooked dogs up to an MRI machine and alternated between giving them praise and hot dogs. Their responses were studied, and they were equal. In fact, 20% of the dogs actually preferred the praise over the food. So don't worry so much about the goodies. Give out plenty of good dog. Does this surprise you?
Marcia, did you know that?
Absolutely.
This made me so
Absolutely.
happy.
Because if you look at dogs, you look into their eyes, you see their soul. And so they want you to love them, and they're going to give you 3 times more the love. So whether you have a treat in your hand or you have just your arms to put around them, and I think that's the best. Hug your dog. You should have Hug Your Dog Day. Hug your dog, because they'll give you so much more.
I have no
agree.
dog right now. I'll have to hug
I'll
a
loan
dog.
you one. I'll loan you one.
I'll just stop on the street and hug a dog.
My husband says he would like to come back as the family dog because that's who gets all the love and all the attention in the house.
Absolutely, absolutely, and gets to sleep in the bed.
Exactly. Life is good when you're the
Yes.
dog. So hug the dog, save the calories on the treats. We're going to check out our happy hour forecast when we come back. An important conversation about the state of jobs on the Suncoast.
Good afternoon. I'm Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan. A tropical depression has formed in the southwest Caribbean, is expected to move off to the northwest and then eventually to the north. It is developing right now. You can see that quite clearly. The latest on it, top winds are at 35. It's not all that strong of a system at this point, and it is going to be moving over the outskirts there of Central America, Nicaragua, and Honduras. And looks like the computer forecast models continue to show it moving off toward the northwest, and then eventually making a little bit more of a break toward the north late in the forecast there, anywhere from Louisiana all the way over to the panhandle of Florida. That's where the line of the center portion of the storm could be, from anywhere there. We're expecting an update soon. I imagine it will be called Tropical Storm Nate on the next update, which is coming down here in about 30 minutes or so. Winds have been strong here as a result of another little system down south of Miami right now. You can see winds at 20 to 25 miles an hour sustained across the area. A little bit higher in Minnesota and Venice at 23. We'll have much more on this tropical system and our weather coming up.
As baby boomers retire and the next generation is more college educated, the American workforce is growing stronger. However, that also means that jobs are getting more competitive. There's a conference being held right here on the Suncoast with hundreds of our students talking about the state of jobs and what it means for their future. Chris Laney from the Career Source Suncoast and Braden River High student Haley Knight are here to discuss this with us. And we want to ask you guys, first of all, now, what grade are you in, Haley?
I'm in 11th.
You're in the 11th grade.
Yes.
Why is it important to start in middle school and in high school to talk about jobs?
We actually, for high school, this conference is focused on high school, but we find more and more the students want to learn more in middle school because a lot of the decisions that they're making in high school is related to the careers that they're going to pick after high school, whether it's college prep or after their career.
So young middle schoolers should start thinking about this.
That's correct, yes.
What's the difference, I'll ask you this first, between a student's perception of what the job market's going to be like and reality?
I think students, they don't really think about the jobs they're going to get after college. They're thinking about what they want to do. And so what we try to do is we try to show them the high demand careers that are available, the ones that we know we're going to be hiring for in the next 5, 6, 7 years, so they can start thinking, well, maybe I would be interested in something like that.
Well, what do you want to do, Haley? What's your dream?
I would really like to be a foreign intel analyst for Central Intelligence.
Ooh, that's cool. I like that. Where do you find that?
Now, she's not going to start in that position, is she?
No, probably not. So it's an important point. We have to figure out the pathways for these students to be able to figure out how we can get to the end goal. You know, all of us, unfortunately, what we found over the last 5, 10 years is we had a generation that said, okay, it's my first day of working, and so how do I become CEO today?
Yes.
And so you have to work from the bottom up, and so we need to show those pathways for these students.
Yeah, I worked with somebody once who walked in straight from college, and pretty soon, in a week or two, threw the papers into the air and said, I did not graduate from college to stack papers. I don't know when she got another job. But sometimes we're so excited about getting started that we do, but we do need to have future plans, don't we?
We do, yes.
So you know what direction you're going in. Well, it helps, I'm sure, to get businesses like Marcia's. Marcia's got a business that hires people. I'm sure it's important to get them involved, too, in this.
Yeah, I think that what we've found, especially here in this region, is it's everyone's responsibility. It's not just the school district, it's not just the businesses or the community organizations. If we all come together and we work on what we call the talent pipeline and preparing a next generation workforce, then we have a better chance of succeeding. And so it's important for all of us to be involved. And so for this particular conference, we have 30, 40 businesses and community organizations that are there, that are not, their ROI is, they're not talking about, hey, you know, come buy our product.
Yes.
This is a great industry to work for, and this is what I want to share with you, and that's across the board.
I have a question for Haley, because I have teenagers at home, and I know as a parent I was so surprised when in middle school we were talking about careers and college paths. Do you like that, or does it kind of stress you out and make you feel pressure to grow up fast?
I mean, I can see it like both ways. I mean, in middle school with me, like I definitely was thinking about college at the time, especially around 8th grade, right before I went into high school.
But did you find some of your other friends were like, oh, I have all the time in the world, I don't have to worry
Yeah, I
about
mean, I
this?
still have friends who are seniors who are like, I don't need to worry about this right now.
Right. No, I mean, it's definitely coming up with a balance.
And you know, what do you say to those kids that are seniors and haven't come up with that pathway or any direction?
We work with those students and we try to develop some sort of interest, and then we can put them into some sort of program, whether it's an apprenticeship, an on-job training program, or we can, I mean, it's not too late. We can still select colleges, whether it's locally or around the state. And so we try to work with those students and try to find out what their interests are. And that's not always easy. And so we have a variety of assessments that we do. One, in fact, is called Future Plans, to try to figure out what their interests are based on their skills and their personality and those types of things.
Now, this conference is coming next week.
That's correct, yes.
What will it be like?
So what we try to do is we want to provide students with a very unique experience, not any different than an adult going to a conference. So they come in and they have keynote speakers throughout the day. They've pre-selected industries that they're interested in. So if you're interested in healthcare, you're going to have a variety of speakers just in healthcare. We also focus on leadership because we think the soft skills component is important, and then also college prep and career readiness.
That's really great.
Oh, it does sound
That's
terrific.
wonderful.
You guys
wish
are
you the
so
best,
lucky.
Haley.
Yes, and the 2017 State of Jobs Conference is October 10th, and you can go to their website for more information. And next, we're going to talk about beer, bands, and barbecue.
Ever since I can remember, I've been intrigued by industrial design and the optimization.
Wait, that's passion? Ever since I can remember, my passion has been industrial design. We need 3D printers for Miss Adams' engineering program so that we are ready to solve 21st century challenges.
Impressive. Think It Up is a new initiative to support student-powered, teacher-led learning projects. Students and teachers, how can you spark great learning experiences in your classroom today? Think It Up.
At Tidewell Hospice, we know it's never too late to say thank you to our military veterans. The Tidewell Honors Veterans Program has provided care to more than 13,000 military families since 2008. Tidewell volunteers help honor veterans through special pinning ceremonies that demonstrate our appreciation for the freedom our veterans fought to defend. If you know a veteran who can benefit from end-of-life care, call or visit tidewell.org today. Tidewell Hospice. It's more than you think.
So many possibilities worth exploring. Minnesota Flooring.
And for a limited time, Minnesota Flooring is offering you unbelievable pricing on tile and laminate. Porcelain tile only $1.59. Ceramic tile 99 cents. And 16 by 16 tile $1.19. Laminate flooring is only 99 cents. But these prices won't last. Don't miss out on these great deals. Hurry into Minnesota Flooring today.
Attention, Americans eligible for Medicare. Are you getting all the benefits you're entitled to? Did you know there may be money available to lower your medical prescription costs? Call Health Markets and we'll tell you if you qualify.
Hi, I'm Dr. Martin Jeetzy. It's a new Medicare year. That means more changes and more confusion. The key question is, what can you do now to ensure you get the care you need in the coming year?
Call Health Markets today. You may qualify to save money on prescriptions. We'll help you find plans that may cost less, cover more, and could even lower your prescription costs to increase your savings. We help you find all the benefits you're entitled to, and we do it at no cost.
Make sure you have what you need to get the care that's right for you.
Find out if you qualify to receive extra help with your prescriptions. Call the number on the screen now. Representatives are standing by.
Welcome back. We're going to check out some Hollywood headlines. Hugh Hefner passed away only last week, but already the movie to portray his life is on the fast track. The Hollywood Reporter says Jared Leto will portray the Playboy magazine founder. Now, Leto's reportedly an old friend of the director and says he really understands the Playboy mogul. This movie has actually been in the talks for 10 years. Couple things here. Anyone think it's weird they're making a movie so soon? And is Jared Leto like as suave and debonair as Hugh Hefner always portrayed?
He was better looking. He's much better looking. I always thought of Hugh Hefner as being sort of slimy. I mean, would you go on a date with him?
Yes,
a
lot of people would.
Absolutely. Without a doubt.
A lot of people would.
That's awesome.
A lot of people.
Maybe a little slimy, but still kind of clean cut and
He's
polished.
swerving to Bonnier.
And
He never even put on his clothes. He wore the pajamas all the time.
Well, why do you
They're
need
still-
all those clothes? You just get them off.
Apparently, he's
faster.
taking them off anyway. I don't know. To me, Jared Leto kind of has that hipster vibe. That doesn't.
He says he
I think
understands it.
Matthew
I feel like
McConaughey-
that. Oh,
Well,
that's a
now
good
he's good looking.
Now
I'd
he's
go to
sway.
bed with him.
Okay, I'll go with him too. In that Lincoln that he drives, right? For the
I don't
commercial.
care about the car.
Oh,
Just the robe.
you gotta
the
have the whole
pajamas.
package.
Brad Pitt?
Oh,
I
he's
don't
a
know.
bad-
Oh, he's too
yes.
short.
No. Oh, Lord.
Oh, he's too short.
George Clooney?
No.
George Clooney looks a little like Kevin.
That's
Too
not what I was
old.
thinking. Too old. Hefner was 91 years old.
But he didn't start off that way.
No, he didn't. He didn't look any better, though, when he started off.
All right, well, that's on the way. We'll see how long it takes in production. So the apple doesn't fall far from the tree in the gorgeous Christy Brinkley family. Last year, Christy made headlines as she posed with her two daughters for Sports Illustrated. Now, daughter Sailor has officially become her own Sports Illustrated swim model. Sports Illustrated actually had Christy tell Sailor the big news. No doubt a proud mom moment. I can't believe how much
Which one's
alike,
which?
seriously, I can't believe how much alike her mom she looks. And Linda, it made me think of you. Not
Oh,
because
that makes you think of me.
it does, those sexy women in
bikini.
bikinis. No, passing the torch though, because your daughter Kathy was a
Yes.
news reporter here.
Yeah.
Did that make you feel so immensely proud to see your daughter doing a craft that you had worked on for so long?
I loved it. It proved that I wasn't neglecting her, that she loved what I did, that she thought what I did was worthwhile.
Yeah.
And she really did love reporting. It just didn't pay enough. But I don't think I would let her wear that bikini.
Well, but when mom wore the bikini, it's a little hard
Yeah.
for you to say kid
And
can't
she
wear the
looked
bikini.
But when
good
you
in
have
it.
a
It
great
looked pretty
body
good.
like
Yeah,
that,
she
I don't
looked
know if
pretty
you
good
can
in
really
it.
stop them.
And Christy stayed out of most scandals. So I
Oh,
mean,
yes, she did.
I think you can have that career and show your daughter that it's possible to be still a good, clean-cut person in that career. So.
In my next
I like
life, the bikinis.
You're going to be Christy
yeah.
Brinkley?
No, the
I'd just
bikinis.
like to be her or her daughter, because apparently the genes are good.
Yes.
Apparently.
All right, when we come back, we're going to learn how to make the most out of winter vegetables. Some surprises.
This is an important medical announcement. Xarelto and Pradaxa have been linked to uncontrollable bleeding and even death. If you've been prescribed one of these drugs and have experienced these dangerous side effects, you may be entitled to substantial compensation. Studies show that Pradaxa can cause more heart attacks than warfarin, and other countries have already issued safety warnings against this drug. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. The call is confidential, there's no cost, and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to Pradaxa victims, and thousands of Xarelto victims are filing their legal cases. Call the Drug Watch Hotline if you or a loved one used Xarelto or Pradaxa and experienced uncontrollable bleeding, brain hemorrhage, or even death. You must call now.
Call 800-793-6055. 800-793-6055.
The Venice Area Chamber of Commerce Consumer Expo is coming to the Venice Community Center October 6th and 7th from 9 to 3. There'll be free health screenings, door prizes, and products and services from 75 area businesses. You can also enter to win $100 in 5 drawings each day. Enjoy the great food court and see new boats and cars in the outdoor display. Parking and admission are free. The Venice Area Chamber Consumer Expo, sponsored in part by ABC7.
We answered the call of duty and left our homes to serve in far-off lands. Now, we answer another call, this time at home, in our own communities, to respond in times of chaos, to use our strength, our skills, and our experiences to bring hope amid devastation and destruction. Together, as a team of brothers and sisters, we're continuing our mission to make this country a little stronger and a little better each day. We are Team Rubicon.
Northland Outdoors is about so much more than the biggest fish or the hottest hunting spots. All across the Northland, there are amazing people with incredible stories to tell. We're going to find those stories and share them with everyone. Join us each and every week as we explore the Northland and experience some of the most exciting outdoor adventures in the country right here in our own backyard. This is Northland Outdoors.
We're still in hurricane season, and storms could still impact us here on the Suncoast. Sometimes it's just rain. Sometimes it's much worse. When there's the potential for severe weather, you need to know fast. Trust ABC 7 First Alert Weather to get you the information you need right away. We focus on the storms that impact where you live, and we're committed to alerting you with important information as soon as we get it. When severe weather strikes, trust ABC 7 First Alert Weather. We're here for you.
Well, you can tell it's fall when different types of produce start popping up in stores, including some oddly shaped varieties of squash. And Sharon Ross from White Picket Produce is here to teach us what we can do with winter squash. All right, so I don't know if you know, but I don't know anything about vegetables. So squash is new to me.
I do know that.
I didn't even know that, that there was a thing as winter squash. So what is it?
Winter squash is a real hardy squash. It comes out in the fall. You can store it all winter long so that it stays for a long period of time. Unlike summer squash, which is zucchini and yellow squash, has a lot of water content. Winter squash is a lot hardier. It's great for roasting, for soups, those comfort foods that we love to eat during the winter.
I remember growing up, we used to keep them down in the cellar, which makes me sound 800 years old. But up north, when we dug down into the basements, they would stay there all winter long, and you'd always have squash.
Right.
Well, I guess that's good.
See, you learned something.
Quite unique. So there's a bunch of different types, and you brought some. Tell us about the ones you brought.
Okay, so the first one, and everybody's favorite, everyone is used to seeing it, is the butternut squash.
Okay.
They come in all different shapes and sizes. It is the crowd pleaser. It is buttery, nutty. If you're feeding a crowd, a large one, it goes a long way. So that's the butternut squash. The second one is acorn squash. Acorn squash can be a little bland, so you want to make sure that you're seasoning the acorn squash liberally with salt and seasonings. It is, again, the skin is edible, so you don't have to peel it, and it's great stuffed. So that's a great one to use. Yeah.
And then the next?
The next is carnival. Not too many people.
Carnival?
Carnival
I've never
squash
seen that.
is so pretty on the plate.
It's a party.
It's kind of a cross between an acorn and a dumpling. Again, just beautiful, great stuffed. It's great squash to use.
And it's pretty for decoration.
Yeah, I was going to say, I've used it for decoration. I've never thought about eating it.
You can eat it. The next one is delicata. This one is my favorite because it's small. It's kind of like a squash that if you're cooking for 1 or 2 people, it's a great one to use. It's kind of called the sweet potato squash.
Okay.
It's so easy to work with. It cooks up really quickly, and you can eat the skin on that as well, so you don't have to peel it.
Okay. Who knew there were this many
know,
varieties?
right?
I would have thought they were all different vegetables.
I know.
I thought they all tasted alike.
Is kabocha or kaboka. It is, this one you can actually poke a few holes in, put the entire thing in the oven, roast it, and you can eat the entire thing.
Oh.
It is really creamy.
The outside
it's
too?
Great for soups. The skin is also edible on that one too.
I like that.
Great.
Oh, no. And then the last one.
And then the last one, everyone knows this one too. This one's spaghetti squash. This has a very different texture than the other squashes. It's stringy like spaghetti. People are used to using it instead of spaghetti or pasta. If you're gluten-free, this one's a great option for you too.
Well, you just mentioned, it's stringy, but I've heard they're hard to cut. How do you get inside of it?
And it's sometimes people shy away from them because they're afraid of cutting off a finger while they're trying to prepare it. So
Valid concern.
That sounds like us.
I do have a trick. So I brought each of you a mini butternut squash to test. The first thing you want to do is make sure your cutting board is solid on the ground or on the countertop. Okay. So I put a wet paper towel underneath your little cutting board.
Oh, smart.
You then want to have a sharp knife. Dull knives cut fingers, so make sure you have a sharp knife. And then you want to take a fork, take your, and just poke a few holes in the skin. You don't have to bore a hole in it. Really, you just have to pierce the skin, just so that it doesn't explode. When you put it in the microwave for about 3 to 5 minutes.
Like a baked potato.
Oh, so
exactly.
So this has been microwaved for a few minutes. I thought it had a little give to it.
It has a little give to it.
Okay.
So then all you want to do is set it solidly on your cutting board, and your knife should just glide right through. Look at that.
That is easy.
Right through.
So the key is the microwave.
So you poke the holes in microwave for a couple minutes, and then you can cut it.
Exactly. And I say 3 minutes, but depending on the size of your squash, if you have a large one, it might
Linda's
need...
still struggling.
So if you do struggle, it might need to go back into the microwave for a couple more minutes.
Microwave.
There you go.
Okay, now if we
Ready to
roast
go.
these, do we take out the guts first?
Right, so the guts. This is what you get when you scoop out the guts. Now,
Should you save it?
Chicken.
I save it because when I make soup, I use the guts. That's where all the flavor is. So I use that. I saute it just like you would a chicken stock. This is your guts for the stock. I saute it. I get the flavors to come out with some onion. Then I add the water. I simmer it and then strain it out when I'm ready to make butternut squash soup. And it is a game changer when you get... There you go.
Speaking of that, there are a variety of ways you can cook squash.
Right.
And you brought us some examples.
I did.
Tell us about, the different types of things that you can do with it.
Starting with acorn.
Acorn is a great one, like I said, to stuff.
Oh, I love that.
What did you stuff it with?
I stuffed it with just some onion, celery, carrots, mushrooms, and then I had some quinoa, and I just added the quinoa instead of bread stuffing and baked it off. It is amazing.
So when I was growing up,
easy.
we made it sweet. We'd put cranberries and apples or raisins and brown sugar and butter in it, and that made it like dessert, because that's how I got convinced I should be eating squash.
It's so good. Yes, and that's a good way to introduce it to children. Make it into a dessert, make it something a little bit sweeter, and they will crave it. It's really good. Or you can just plain roast the squash. That one is the butternut.
Yum.
The acorn squash, it's so beautiful on the plate, and then the delicata. And
This is the delicata?
That's the delicata.
I need
That's
to
what
try
it looks
that.
like. Now, this one here is the spaghetti squash. I actually sliced it into rings. It cuts your cooking time a little bit. A whole spaghetti squash can take up to 30, 40 minutes in the oven. But if you slice it into rings like this, you also get longer strands, so it actually looks a little bit more like pasta.
And then you shave that off.
And you just take a fork and you just separate the strings, and it just
Oh
comes
my
right
goodness,
out
look
like
at that.
It does look like spaghetti.
It does.
What temperature are you
fun.
roasting all of these at?
375, 400, 15 to 20 minutes.
Well, Stephanie's the only one over here eating, but you also have a recipe.
I love squash.
You have a recipe that we all can
Right.
eat. What is this? Because it looks like a cake.
That is, I'm going to let you guess. Take a bite and you tell me what vegetable is in there.
Well, it's got to be a squash.
It's spaghetti squash
It
because
is
it's
a
stringy.
spaghetti squash.
But why does it taste like pie?
Coconut. Doesn't it taste like coconut? Tastes like a
it
coconut
does.
pie.
This is amazing.
So you know I
with
love
custard.
turning my veggies into dessert.
Oh, that's
so
amazing.
It is.
Oh, I
so
love
fun.
this recipe. It's so good.
It is. Well, White Picket Produce can deliver fresh, organic, seasonal produce to you right at your home or your office. All you got to do is call them and go to their website for more information. Thank you guys
Thank you
for giving me an education in squash. I
My
needed
pleasure.
it.
Enjoy.
And next, we get ready to sell our homes in Suncoast for sale. We'll be right back.
Get breaking news alerts focused on the Suncoast. Download the ABC7 News app.
Are you currently on Medicare? In other words, do you carry the red, white, and blue Medicare card? If so, are you suffering from chronic back pain? If you answered yes, you may be eligible for a pain-relieving back brace covered by Medicare at little to no cost, shipped directly to your home for free. These medical-grade back braces are ideal for lower back pain, arthritis, spinal disorders, and other chronic back problems. Will you qualify for a medical-grade back brace?
Call Back Brace America at 1-800-683-9262.
From our studios on Florida's Suncoast, this is an ABC7 News Update.
Good afternoon, I'm Jacqueline Matter. Here's what we're working on for 5 o'clock. As the U.S. territory of Puerto Rico cleans up in the aftermath of Hurricane Maria, a group of specialists from Sarasota are looking to aid in the struggle to bring communication back to the island. Plus, new details on the investigation into the Las Vegas mass shooting, what officials say went into the planning of that attack. Now let's get a check on your First Alert weather forecast with Bob Harrigan.
Thanks, Jacqueline. We were looking at this is the northern end of this tropical wave, which is bringing heavy rainfall now into the Bahamas and stretching into South Florida. We even have a few showers going on here with a few isolated thunderstorms expected later on tonight. This rain will bring some heavy showers at times. It's scattered about now, becoming more numerous tomorrow. And we have a newly formed tropical depression, soon to be Tropical Storm Nate. We'll have an update on where it may be heading coming up today at 5. See you then.
Keep up with the Suncoast. Watch your favorite ABC7 shows on your streaming device.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
When my youngest, Addie, was 2.5, she was diagnosed with leukemia. When we first heard that diagnosis, you feel extremely alone. Walking in that Light the Night light with 6,000 people carrying lights, white for survivors, red for supporters, gold in memory of those who have passed. It's the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society's hope that every year there are fewer gold lanterns. Your lantern will make a difference.
Start a team, join a team.
Help us light the night.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Here on the Suncoast, as temperatures cool down, the real estate market heats up. So what's the best way to grab the attention of all the potential home buyers out there? Today in Suncoast for Sale, we asked Andrew Haddad that question, and he's going to help us sell our homes.
That's right.
All right, well, Andrew, when you're talking about selling a property, how important is it to put on the market in fall, or when do you want to do it?
Right. Well, you know, I'm less concerned about the seasons because right now with our technology, people can literally walk through a house any time of the year.
Good point. Right.
You know, to start off is positioning. It's pricing the property right to hit the target market. I mean, real estate, selling homes is an art and a science. We're going to see a little bit of that today, yet, you know, starting off with price point is huge. The first thing I did want to go into is, you know, nearly 100% of our buyers start their search online.
Okay.
So first impressions are everything. And you know, I've been on this show for years, and you know, I go through tons of properties, and a lot of them, you know, unfortunately, don't have professional photos and everything. And this is our first impression. And it doesn't cost a lot to have professional photos, but I wanted to show you this is a home, all these homes that we sold. I took some pictures of way back when, and then the pictures of we had when we sold. So these are some photos of a property that was listed before that, you know, were done by themselves. You're gonna see them dark, you know, I mean, it's vacant, it's dark. I mean, it's pretty hard to visualize yourself, right? We wanna engage people the first time they see the property. So that's a non-professional photos. So with all of our properties, I mean, we use professional photos. I mean, from the lighting to the staging
and this
to
is one
everything.
of the professional ones.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
I mean,
you can definitely tell the difference.
And you know, they move the film back. They can capture more of the room, capture the light, capture the essence of the living areas. And I mean, it makes a huge difference. Have you ever seen properties with, you know, professional photos versus non-professional?
And even just like lightly staged, it makes a difference.
100%. So that's going to lead us into our next little segment.
So you think it's definitely important to do professional photos?
It's a standard. It's not even something to do extra. I mean, that should be done all the time. Next is staging. So, you know, staging can go two ways. You know, it can be very expensive to fully stage a house. We use technology if our sellers can't pay for that. We have virtual staging, which we include. So you're going to see this house. We sold this house. I'm not crazy about the interior colors, yet I want you to see the pictures of it non-staged. This is how the house is, right? Vacant. I mean, you can't help that it's vacant right now. Yet,
chair rail's kind of glaring.
Colors are a little yellow and everything, yet it's vacant, right? So people have to feel and see the future, see their future in these homes. So we do this with virtual staging. So the same living room.
This isn't real?
This is staging? This is virtual staging, believe it or not. And we have all the proper disclosures, yet even from the picture standpoint, you can see that, like, oh my gosh, okay, this is where I'm gonna put my couch. And again, we're still online here. So we are engaging the customers in order to get them to pick up the phone, call the seller, call the listing agent in order to move forward.
That's amazing.
That's
I got,
interesting.
I got a pretty crazy stat. So 81% of buyers find it easier to visualize themselves in the home in the future in a staged property versus a vacant property. That's 81%. That's huge.
That is amazing.
So, I mean, those kind of stats don't lie. That's from the National Association of Realtors. So, I mean, pretty important from a staging concept.
Another thing that I heard is important now is not just staging, but being able to tour a property.
Right.
Tell me about the different video tours that you guys have.
Yeah, well, I love this because, you know, they say, you know, logic makes people think. Emotions make people act. So the video tours are really letting the buyers go through the house, experience the house. We want to create a feeling so that they can fall in love. And again, we haven't even been inside the house yet. we are just drawing them in and getting them excited, right? I mean, this is what we want. So these tours are included with all of our listings yet. It's amazing. This is a drone, like a helicopter drone going through the house, going through the outside. I mean, again, and you asked about seasons earlier. People are shopping year-round. We don't have to wait for season to have them come and see this property when we have this type of technology these days. Wow. So again, we are just capturing the essence of the home. Drones, aerials are huge for being able to envision the entire property. And
well, that was beautiful, and it definitely brought me in.
Yeah.
But I hear there are a variety of tours also.
Yeah, so this is the next technology. Our team was actually the first one to have this camera. This is 3D Matterport tours. So this is a series you actually can, by yourself, go through the house into every room. Now this is all HD, so you can scroll up, you see every nook and cranny. This serves two very well purposes. Number one, either the buyer's not going to like it. They're not going to like the layout, and guess what? A seller doesn't want people just footprints through their home, right?
Yeah, that's true. Waste time.
Buyers are going to love it. They're going to get more excited, and at the end of the day, when they actually go and see the property, they're going to be more excited because they're familiar, right? And they love it. So serves a great purpose. Again, science and art go together with selling real estate. These are some of the tools we use, and it's phenomenal.
Oh, wow. They look amazing. It got me excited.
Right.
Look at that house. It was great.
Love it.
All right, you guys can contact Andrew at searchsarasotahomes.com for any of your questions that you guys have about the real estate market or trying to buy a house. And next, we're going to have a preview of a series premiere right here on ABC. We'll be right back.
Need more space in your place? The More Space Place can help with Murphy beds that disappear to reveal a home office, living room, or den. Custom closets with designated areas for your shoes, bags, wardrobe, and accessories. Custom-built entertainment centers, garage storage systems, and more. The More Space Place has 3 showrooms next to Sonny's on US 41 South in Sarasota, on Lakewood Ranch Boulevard just south of State Route 64 in Bradenton, and on Tamiami Trail next to Panera Bread in Port Charlotte. Put more space in your place at the More Space Place.
Credit card debt can ruin your life. If you owe $10,000 and minimum payments are siphoning away your paycheck each month, you can get debt-free in less time than you think.
I've paid $800 a month for the past 3 years and haven't changed the balance on my credit card.
Get debt-free now has a program to reduce your debt, stop the harassing phone calls, avoid financial ruin, and settle for less than you owe.
I feel like a huge weight has been lifted off my shoulders.
You're pre-approved for our special hardship program if you owe $10,000 or more. Upon payment of your new lower balance, your debt will finally shrink until you are debt-free.
My family no longer has 30 years of payments ahead of us at 20% interest.
There's no fees until you see results. So call now, make one monthly program payment, and free up your cash. Resolve your debt.
Call 800-685-6422, 800-685-6422.
The Venice Area Chamber of Commerce Consumer Expo is coming to the Venice Community Center October 6th and 7th from 9 to 3. There'll be free health screenings, store prizes, and products and services from 75 area businesses. You can also enter to win $100 in 5 drawings each day. Enjoy the great food court and see new boats and cars in the outdoor display. Parking and admission are free. The Venice Area Chamber Consumer Expo, sponsored in part by ABC7.
Hurricane season is here, and so is the ABC7 First Alert Hurricane Guide.
This essential resource arms you with vital information you need to protect your family and property when severe weather threatens the Suncoast, including how to create your readiness plan and survival kit, shelter locations, what to do with your pets, and important phone numbers.
Visit mysuncoast.com and download the ABC7 First Alert Hurricane Guide.
Brought to you by Batteries Plus, the Florida Lottery, and Sarasota Glass and Mirror.
It's a dangerous habit. Texting and driving kills thousands each year. Join ABC7 and take the No Text Zone Pledge.
Hi, I'm Melissa with Venice Toyota, encouraging you to help us keep the Suncoast safe by making the pledge to not text and drive. Save a life, stop by Venice Toyota today and take the pledge to not text and drive, and register to win a $100 gift card to Capitol Grill.
Take the pledge. Save a life. Go to mysuncoast.com for more information.
So fall TV premiere season continues. If you missed it, last night was the premiere of Kevin Probably Saves the World. Interesting cast. Jason Ritter's the star. He's the son of the late John Ritter. And he's a guy who's down on his luck and just kind of not really interested in helping anybody or being a good person. Then a spiritual figure comes a-knocking, so he becomes a reluctant hero, and he isn't exactly happy being asked to save the world. Interesting reviews. Entertainment Weekly says it's a far-out premise, but is an unlikely charmer. New York Times a little bit missed. They like Jason Ritter, but says they're not so sure they're going to love the whole season, and USA Today gave it a thumbs down. So something to check out, a new concept. Kevin Probably Saves the World.
I like the name.
I do too. All right. We also like the concept of tacos, and we're going to go see Judy, who's going to save our dinner plans here in the kitchen.
ABC 7, your official Florida lottery station for the Suncoast. From our studios on Florida's Suncoast, this is an ABC 7 News Update.
Hello, I'm Scott Dennis. Here's what's coming up at the top of the hour. The city of Venice looking to bring more affordable housing to the area, the next step towards breaking ground on a new project. In first alert traffic right now, the northbound drivers on I-75 right near University Parkway are seeing some delays, a little red and yellow there on the map, some slight slowdowns at this hour. Now over to Bob for another look at our weather.
Thanks, Scott. Right now, some showers and storms down to our south associated with a tropical disturbance there. It hasn't had much chance to develop. The one down south in the southwest Caribbean does, however. It's still a tropical depression at this point. The latest advisory has just come in. Some showers fast moving across the region. Expect brief periods of some heavy downpours at times. And the tropical depression, again, expected to move off toward the northwest. There are tropical storm warnings in effect for Nicaragua and Honduras. More of that coming up at 5. See you then.
When severe weather strikes, trust ABC 7 First Alert Weather. We're here for you.
This is an important medical announcement. Bard IVC filters have been linked to punctured veins and problems with migration. Anyone who's received a Bard IVC filter must receive medical monitoring and may be entitled to substantial compensation. If you have the Bard Recovery G2 or G2 Express filter, you are in a class of patients who should be compensated for some expenses. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. This call is confidential. There's no cost and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to people who should have been warned about the risks of the Bard IVC filters. Call the IVC Filter Hotline if you or a loved one has received an IVC filter and experienced a vein puncture or required medical monitoring. You must call now.
Call 800-329-3089. 800-329-3089.
You love your couch and want to protect it from spills, food, and scratching, shedding pets. Introducing Couch Coat, the reversible, washable quilted cover that protects your couch. Shield against spills, wow, stop stains, and dirty pet paws and sharp claws. Plus, it's reversible with 2 stylish colors. Guaranteed to fit any couch up to 92 inches or your money back. It even has covers to protect armrests. Machine washable too.
My grandkids destroy everything, but with Couch Coat, my couch is always protected, looking as good as it did the day I bought it.
Get your Couch Coat for just $19.99, and it's reversible in brown and cream, like 2 couch coats for the price of 1. Order right now, and you can double your offer. Get a second Couch Coat. Just pay a separate fee. Order right now.
Call 1-800-943-0710 to get your couch coat. Call now or go to couchcoat.com. So call 1-800-943-0710. That's 1-800-943-0710. Call now.
Tomorrow at 5 on ABC 7's Good Morning Suncoast.
Hi, I'm Ray Collins. Looking for a job? Manatee County Government is hosting a hiring expo for public sector careers. We'll tell you where you can go to get hired tomorrow on Good Morning Suncoast. Wendy?
And we are watching 2 systems that could have an impact on our weather just in time for this upcoming weekend.
Tomorrow at 5 on ABC 7's Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
Coming up Thursday at 4 on Suncoast View, a world-renowned fashion designer creates right here on the Suncoast. We'll sit down with Sigrid Olsen and find out about her newest line of clothes, and she shows us how to use color to create fabulous custom fabrics. Wine expert Paul Madison brings us some of his favorite pours, plus Suncoast for sale, and Hitched and Hunting Catering joins us in the kitchen.
Welcome back, and we're here with Chef Judy, my dear friend, and she's got tacos.
It's official. Besides Taco Tuesdays, there is a National Taco Week, a National Taco Month, and we are going to cover it, ladies. We are just going to, for Halloween, dress up as tacos. Okay. So let's start at something that's traditional, but brings it to that next level. Friends, right up the street on 10th and 301, and that's La Primavera, an authentic Mexican market. I love you. Just go to the counter. They have menus of everything, and they've brought us a really great display of both the asada, which is the steak taco, my favorite, al pastor, which is seasoned pork with pineapple.
Ooh, yum.
So isn't that nice? So you get that balance. There's beef brisket. There's a mix of chorizo and asada and a fried pork skin. I mean, that's a chicharron taco to me. Anything that says fried skin, I know my cardiologist is not going to like that. But they also brought a nice tray of a balance. So when you come there, what you might want to try the different sauces, the different tacos. Of course, guacamole. I get a triple layer of sour cream on mine.
I'm seeing this, a natural drink.
A natural hibiscus drink. And feel free to take a sip. First of all, it's really flavorful, but also hibiscus, very good for you. And that sweetness kind of cuts that bite if you're going for a big array. But tacos are something you want to go out with a group and share. It's really nice to get a platter, and you can do that there. It's really fun. And I like how they even brought us our own little cactus pen. So they always bring me a treat, including their rice pudding for dessert.
This is
So,
amazing.
I mean, I think you deserve that after tacos. So that's La Primavera. Now, Felipe Creek, since they introduced these fish tacos several years ago, every year they have managed to win at least one place, usually about 5 different magazines and newspapers of best fish tacos. These are the fried version. I get them grilled just to be a little bit healthier. And even if you're not a big taco eater, you can ask, I don't want the seasoning on it. I just want salt and pepper. So it kind of makes it a more Americanized version. They are also great about if you ask them for a cabbage leaf or lettuce leaves instead, and that will really cut down your calories because you're going from tortilla. Here it's still a fried shell similar to our tortilla chip, but ask the restaurants. They'll make you a taco salad. There's so many different things that you can do with tacos. Now, out of the box, notice all these great smokehouse restaurants, burger joints are having tacos. One of the most successful launches, I think, has been brick smoked meats, and I think that they've really covered it in a couple of the magazines like Christine Nichols' article and things like that. My favorite, burnt end taco. Oh my gosh, I'm telling you, once you try it, so it's the ends of bacon. So think of that deliciousness, and then they smoke it in their big smoker, and then it's slathered with like a sugary base, so it's sticky, it's wonderful, it has jalapenos. It is so delicious. So the burnt end taco probably is their #1. They have a smoked brisket taco, of course, which is my husband's favorite. Vegetarian tacos are so big now. So portobello mushroom taco, jicama slaw, roasted tomatoes, nice and fresh, and a fried shrimp taco. Lots of different ideas, and this is really fun to do at home. You can pick a corn relish and things like that. I know Shannon Black in my office, the woman lives for Taco Tuesday. I have never, Shannon, if you are watching in the live stream, that one's for you. They actually made you a cocktail, a jam and old fashioned.
Okay.
Cocktails are coming out of the box.
Love that.
I know. I was ready to taste it.
Let's go to
Certainly
Bradenton.
not list. Let's go to Bradenton. Bird Rock Tacos at Village of the Arts. crazy good tacos. Roast beet and coat cheese, fried green tomato, Nashville taco, shrimp tangerine ginger taco.
Oh my goodness.
Collard greens, carnitas hominy, and you can get that scooped up in a taco. And you always got to have some guacamole to go boom.
And what a bowl of guacamole that is.
And that's a great hip joint. So no matter whether you're going traditional, you're going really out of the box, tacos.
A lot of different kinds of tacos. Great way to celebrate Marsha's birthday. So let's say cheers to Marsha. Enjoy the tacos all over the Suncoast and take some time and enjoy the Suncoast view. Have a great day.